The restoration of the Red Palace in Al-Jahra aims to preserving the Kuwaiti Bedouin heritage, as the palace, which was built in 1896 by order of the late Sheikh Mubarak al-Sabah, is a standing symbol of resilience and history. More details with our correspondent Abdulrahman Al-Muhanna, joining us live from the Red Palace. Good evening, Abdulrahman. Always a pleasure having you with us.
Good evening to you, Maha. It's always good to be with you from the other side on field.
Absolutely. Can you please, Abdulrahman, tell us about the activities held at the Red Palace?
Of course, to begin with, good evening to also my colleague Al-Jasmi and to the dear viewers of KTV2. It's a pleasure to be right here in Al-Jahra at the Red Palace Festival happening right here, which includes much things that reflect on our culture and traditions and the Kuwaiti heritage, as well as other things. It includes a lot of things, but before we get to such details, the Red Palace itself, it's known as a symbol for our heritage, and tonight we have such exciting events that would take place. We have an exciting feature called the poetic dialogue, which is going to take place right behind me right now, which is called Al-Galta, which will feature many of the talented poetic people that we have in Kuwait, such as Muhammad al-Shatri, Mit'ab al-Fqai'i, and also Deeb al-Shimmiri, Ahmed al-Noon, and Khalid bin Taflan. And of course, we'll get to hear from them, and they're going to share their powerful words, and of course they're going to connect us more deeper with their words to our culture, the Kuwaiti culture and heritage, and of course traditions. This is the power of words and how it connects us to our culture. And before we get to more details about today's event, I have two special guests who are visitors right here and would like to share their insights as visitors who have been right here since the festival began, and give us more updates on how they have on what their experiences have been like. So to begin with, I have with me Abdulwahab Al-Hbishi. He's a visitor right here. Abdulwahab, it's very good to have you right here.
Hello, Abdulrahman.
Can you please begin by telling us the latest about the atmosphere, how it felt, and how is it being right here in the Red Palace Festival?
Let me start first with the background about the Red Palace. Actually, it was built in 1897. And it held one of the historic events that is occurred in 1920. So people can see our culture here, can reflect all the aspect about how we living, how the old building, also even the weapon that was used in the event. So basically, it will be a good experience for the people. Also, they can see how we have like the coffee, a different coffee. There is one of the coffee that was aged for 5 years. So basically, it should be a good experience for the people from Kuwait, outside of Kuwait, to see how people actually lived here and how our culture was in the past.
Of course, you seem educated about the Red Palace itself. You also spoke about its history, and you also mentioned about a lot of non-Kuwaitis that have been, or non-even GCC members that have been here. Did you meet any people from Arabic countries, for example, or did you see people from around the world, for example?
Yeah, I saw people from north of Africa. They actually, even for me, I am like almost 30 years. So basically, for like 20 years, I didn't come to the Red Palace. I didn't see it. I didn't come from, like, I talk about inside it. So basically, it was closed. And right now, even for me, it was the first time that I sing it. So I saw people from like Africa, also from GCC. So even I saw like from Europe people, they came here to see how our building and how we live in the past.
And Abdulwahab, finally, tell me one thing that struck your attention, that was attention-seeking to you.
I think the story in the museum that talk about the thing that happened in the past, in 1920.
Well, thank you so much, Abdulwahab, for being with us. Well, dear viewers, that was Abdulwahab Al-Hbishi, a visitor, and we thank him for being with us and for his insights. And of course, one opinion is not enough to share the insights of this, the Kuwaiti culture and about this festival and what it shares. We have another guest as well to share his insight as well, Shaheen Al-Awadi as well. Shaheen, thank you for being with us. Can you please tell us a different experience to Abdul Wahab. As you've heard, he did mention a bit about the historical Red Festival history, and he mentioned a bit about his experience. What about you? How was your experience been?
Well, my experience in the Red Palace was really amazing. You come here to see the culture and the history of this like very historical place that not lots of people don't know about, but with all of like these new events and whatever is happening in here, you're able to see all of the new stuff, the new coffee, the traditional dresses, you know, the traditional food. You're able like to really understand and see the importance of this culture that not a lot of people know about. It is also like, as I said, a really historical place, and seeing which also the traditional dance, which is also called the Arda, which I really personally like. It's, you know, a different thing for people to see. And even when people are visiting us from like the GCC and people outside of Kuwait, they're able to see like the real Kuwaiti culture in here.
Nice. And tell us one thing that the same question I asked Abdul Wahab Al-Hbashi. What struck your attention? What was attention seeking to you since you came here?
Well, what really struck my attention was the attention to detail in everything. And like we have the birds that you were able to like hold them, and the camels. And what really also like really struck my attention was all of the good the ways that was all connected to each other and how it was all together. And I would also give like a really special thanks to all of the people who were responsible to do this event, and on top of them His Excellency the Ambassador, the Governor of Al-Jahra.
Thank you so much, Shaheen. Well, dear viewers, as you've heard, we thank Shaheen and Abdul Wahab for being with us. There is much more before we end this live. I mean, there's much more to discuss. There's an exhibition of traditional craft. There's also falconry displays, and also making coffee, making ways, as Shaheen mentioned his experience. And of course, there's sword craftsmanship. It all reflects the heritage and Kuwaiti history right here in the Red Palace, and even an exhibition of all Kuwaiti currencies. I know a lot of people, I've seen a lot of people that are actually, that have interest in all currencies of Kuwait and have taken place in right here in this exhibition. And each activity gives us a glimpse of this Kuwaiti heritage and culture, and connect us even more to how it was and how it probably felt to be, let's say, in the 90s or the 20th century. And of course, before I let you go, this is we have to thank the organizers and of course the National Guard for putting the efforts, such amazing effort. It's going as smooth as possible. As you can see, everything is going as smooth as possible, and it's going to have different periods in January and in February as well. So hopefully we'll keep you updated as we do these coverages. Maha.
A very, very interesting event, and obviously very well organized. Our thanks goes to you and your esteemed guest, Abdulrahman. Thank you very much.